you represent Flint. And I come from Flint, the home once of Buick Motor, big auto company. How do you react to what you're hearing? It sounds like the president's first line of defense is on cars. He said it's the whole ballgame, and tariffs. How could that affect the people of Flint?
Well, the problem with the way the president approaches these things is that we don't really know what the full impact. It creates a lot of uncertainty in the supply chain, potentially. Obviously, we want to have a better deal with Mexico, but that really starts with Mexico increasing its labor standards. Tariffs upset the economy. These trade wars that the president seems so fascinated by ends up with losers on both sides of every border. We've seen this already with China. Nobody's going to walk away a winner in this situation. So I am worried that the president takes a sort of shoot from the hip approach when it comes to these policies because it makes him look tough and smart. And obviously, I don't believe that he's either one of those things. But, you know, he seems to continue to go down this path. And it's really dangerous to have a president that doesn't think through policy and listen to experts before making these sort of pronouncements.
So, Congressman, in fairness to the administration, they did spend a lot of time in the successor to NAFTA, the so-called USMCA, that does include improvements with respect to labor, specifically on the wages to be paid for a certain percentage of cars coming from Mexico. Are you in favor of that version of USMCA and what it would do to help address some of the issues you identify?
Well, I was one that actually cheered when the president announced that he would renegotiate NAFTA. I disagree with him, and I make it clear, and when I agree, I make it clear as well. I think the issue with NAFTA right now, or with the new NAFTA 2.0, is the enforcement provisions and whether or not Mexico will actually take the necessary steps to dramatically change their labor laws. Here's the problem. The threats that the president is now making to Mexico does not exactly put us in a position to get them to take those steps. He's creating an environment where it may be less likely that they will take those dramatic steps that are a part of the new NAFTA agreement. We will see, and I hope they do it. But, you know, obviously, anytime you introduce uncertainty into the situation, there are more things that can go wrong that can go right.
So finally, Congressman, let's go back to the subject that we asked you to come on about, and that's the subpoena that went out yesterday, or at least the letter to the IRS saying that really the House Ways and Means Committee is demanding 6 years of presidential tax returns. It's pretty well established, according to law, that the Congress does have a right to ask for those from the IRS. At the same time, the IRS reports to the President of the United States. Are you confident that Congress has the authority to get their hands on those tax returns?
I am. This law was written in 1921. It's been used by Democratic and Republican committees. It's used in order to inform the committee on questions that relate to its jurisdiction. And in this case, we have a very serious question as to whether or not the IRS is properly auditing and enforcing tax law on the full taxpayer list that comprises the enterprises of Donald Trump. So the chairman of the committee, who clearly has this authority, it's not an ambiguous question, has sent this letter. The IRS commissioner has to make a decision, adhere to the law, or potentially take signals from either Secretary Mnuchin or President Trump. I hope that the commissioner simply adheres to the law and delivers the returns within the 7 days that we've asked for.